Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I haven't made a video in a while, been covered up, busy, and just haven't got around to it. So I've been kind of busy with my crawler, and I made a bunch of changes, so I wanted to go over with them before I started posting videos of it actually out on the rocks and everything. So I took my same crawler, basically just changed the chassis to the Poizd RC Chassis. So, and here it is. Crazy, got it crazy, and there goes my charger. So got crazy breakover, the Poizd chassis does. So I'll start off with on the outside. I started off with a J Concepts body, the 89 F150 tucked cab only body. Started off, I was going to make it like a Bigfoot scheme that's weathered, you know, with patina and everything. And it turns out you cut so much out of the body with this chassis that it not much left. So it's just a blue chassis. Looks pretty neat. So I'm going to take this off here. I got mounts that hook in the back and just magnet mounts in the front. So on the paint job, I painted the inside like a gunmetal color, and when I sand it down, it's supposed to look like the metal's shining through. You sand down all that, it's pretty neat. But the best thing about that type of body with a crawler is it always looks worn out. So once it gets really worn out, it still looks pretty much the same. It's not holding up as good as my old Jeep body was, the Creep. This one seemed to hold up a little better, but either way. But I've been running this a little while and tuning on it, but I'm going to go over some of the things I've done to it. I'm going to try to do it from this angle. This is my first video I've done in my new setup room, so this is still kind of new to me. So with this chassis, it moves the motor and transmission way forward. I still got my same axle set up with the servo and axle. Now I had a Holmes servo in there that's went out on me the second time. It won't be going back in. So I've temporarily got one of my backup SRT servos in there. I'm not too happy about that. But A-Main took care of me. They're sending me a new Protec Black Edition, whatever their crawler servo is. I'm going to try that out for now. So basically this chassis comes with some small skids, a center skid, and the chassis plates. So you can see the chassis stops right here. I printed this body mount, this brace. This is doubles as a chassis brace and body mounts. It's got the magnets on there. I made all these parts with my X1 Carbon back there in the background bamboo printer. So I made a rear bearing carrier and incorporated the body mounts on there. So the body just goes through those mounts, kind of hooks in there, and snaps on the magnet. That way, if it falls, it just falls off the truck instead of just busting to pieces and everything. So I made some boat sliders, they call them. You can see they've got a pretty steep angle on them to clear the rocks and everything. It looks pretty cool when you get the body tucked up in there. You can see them from the bottom. I had to make the links, had to custom make the links. You can buy some, there's a couple people make the links for these things, but I wanted my own. They're cheap and easy to make. I wanted my own link. I wanted them to be just like I wanted them. I won't have to depend on somebody else's setup. So I made my own. I made a link riser that I'm not quite happy with. I'm going to change that a little bit, raising the rear link. The geometry on this thing's not exactly where I wanted it, so I had to raise the rear links more. I had to move the upper links forward and down. You can see that position right there. I had to drill a hole in the chassis for that, and that notch in the boat slider is for that too. Now this skid is actually the same 3D printed skid I ran in my old chassis. It bolts right up. And that one's made out of nylon carbon fiber. It's been holding up really good. So I still got the stealth transmission in there. The front links, I probably should have the tires off for this, but the front links geometry was not where I wanted either. It was having a lot of problems tipping over and torque twisting. So I made another upper link position, raised it up to one of the most back positions. That made night and day difference on the old chassis and this chassis. So I finally got that dialed in where I wanted. So I've been working on it and been going out on the rocks with it a pretty good bit, and I've been getting it dialed little by little. If I'm honest, it's not quite as good as my old setup yet. it's better with the breakover, obviously. It gets over some of that a lot better, so it does some things much better. But the main difference, it does everything the other one does except for the extreme vertical stuff. The other one had more forward drive, and I'm still working on that. I'm actually going to do some of that today, working on the weight balance. You see, I've added some weight to the rear, just temporary. Screwed some wheel weights on the back to see how that does. I'm going to Moss Rock today. I'm taking some weights with me, some tape and zip ties. I'm gonna just move weight all around and see what it does. But overall, it's been really fun. Let me take this off. Move the camera down here so you can get a better view. Okay, so here it is. Let me zoom out a little bit. So you can see the extreme breakover this thing's got. Your whole fist fits under there. It's pretty crazy. I've been playing around with the shock positions a lot. The shock positions, I had them all in this area here. Back here, what seemed to work best is moving them forward to soften them up, but stiffen the spring. One of the next things I'm going to try is some thicker fluid back there. So you see I still got everything on axle set up with the battery up on right behind the servo. The wiring is kind of temporarily just thrown around right now because I had to throw that backup servo in there. I'm gonna get that straightened out next week when my new servo gets here. But it's basically the same thing. You got the drive shafts are Endura. I had to go through about 5 of them before I found the right lengths. The front one is really short. I had to trim a little off of it. The middle one I didn't have to do anything with. I think I trimmed a little off the rear one, but I finally got all that dialed in pretty good, I think. I'm happy with it. So right now I got my trusty 2.2 with the 1.9 ruptures on it. My favorite tire setup. The foams in it are my go-to foams are the Endura. Actually, I say that they were Endura dual stage foams, but since I went with 2.2, the inner piece I printed with some 95A TPU. So let me show you how this body goes on. So it got just two notches there. Boom, it snaps on. So that's the setup. It looks pretty crazy. It's a lot of fun. There's no bumper on the front, so you got to be a little careful. What you wind up hitting the most is the differential housing. So, but still all element stuff. It's got all the brass stuff, all the Trio brass pieces in the front with the beef tube brass and the heavy duty axles. The rear only weight I've added is those wheel weights there for now. So I'm about to get this thing out. Take it out to Moss Rock, and let me flip around. So I'm about to head out to Moss Rock and try to get some footage of it running. I've been running it before, but I haven't. I probably should have done some more video of it, getting it set up and everything, but I wanted to have it doing a little bit better, and I was enjoying having a lot of fun doing it. So stay tuned. I'm going to get out to Moss Rock and see if we can get this thing on there and get you some footage of it on the rocks. See ya. Okay, so here we are at Moss Rock. First time videoing my new Poizd chassis setup. See if I can get it on the camera here. So this line, this area here is where I come first when I'm trying to work on getting the car to have forward acceleration. This line is called the crunchy line. Mark Dorig, I think is how you say his name. I'd been working on this line for a while when he came down, and he came over here with his crunchy, the Captain Crunch truck, and figured it out pretty quick and went right up it. So me and Bubba made it a mission to figure our own way up there, and with my old setup it would go straight up with no problem. But this one I've been struggling with. I'm still working on it. I'm getting close, but it hadn't had the grip. I made a few changes, moving weight around. We're going to try it out here, so I'm going to get this camera turned around and we'll see what it does. Okay, so here we go. We're going to try this crunchy line. Because he was the first one to get up it, we let him name it the crunchy line. So this is with my 2.2s, which is my favorite tire setup so far. The idea, let me start over. The idea is to go up here, come around, go up that area and over that big hump up there. So That's better line at it right there. Close. There we go. And this part up here looks like it would be the hardest. It really goes over that pretty easy. Again, all the breakover on this thing makes a difference right here too. Never even touches. And that's the crunchy line. That's so we can come down without crashing. I better climb up here. All right. Okay, this is the world famous bubble line on the new ruptures. Like it's butter. I've never been able to do it that easy. This servo's stalling out. Kind of like skate over here. There's a new vine growing right there. Might get caught up in it.
How was I supposed to know how long we were gonna shop for?
Might have been a meteorite. Okay, so there's a little bit of run time just to give you an idea of how the truck's performing. I've made a few changes, getting it better and better as we go. And here it is. No tires on it, of course. I'm recording this later in the week from when I ran the truck, so I've made a few changes. Since then, I put the bushings in the front and rear pinion gear to make them a little more durable, and I got my new servo, the Black Label Protec. I got that one because my Holmes Hobby servo messed up for the second time, and I didn't get a response from them about warranting it. So, because I bought it from A-Main, they offered to give me the Protec Black Label to try out. So that's what I'm trying out now. I've had it out on rocks here at the house. It works great. So super strong servo. I'm excited to try it. So tomorrow I'm heading out to Cherokee Rock Village for the Georgia Rock Zombies haul and crawl. So I got everything ready. The truck's ready to go. Don't have the tires on it because I got them all cleaned up and ready. So I've been through some things on the truck, getting it set up, and it's performing really good right now. And we're going to get out there and have a good time, and hopefully I'll get some coverage of that somehow. So I've got this, and I've got my trail truck for whatever reason. They're going to have a night run, a poker run, all kind of things like that. I'll try to get some footage for that. So thanks for watching. Make sure you stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you.